let them come. There is a fortress here that would not be broken while I still draw breath. The sprawling dark cosmos of the Warhammer 40K verse is a realm steeped in conflict, sacrifice, and the lingering shadow of a glorious yet failed past. Among the most revered and enigmatic figures of this age are the Primarchs, the genetically engineered sons of the Emperor of Mankind, mighty heroes whose legends forged the Imperium. Yet the fates of many of these demigods remain shrouded in mystery, lost to millennia of war and corrupted history. One such potential enduring enigma surrounds the fate of Rogal Dorn, Praetorian of Terra, master of the Imperial Fists Legion, and the Emperor's own architect. Was this unyielding bulwark of humanity truly slain, or does his story hold a deeper unwritten end? Greetings all, I'm your guide the Archivist. Today I will dive into the details of this potential death of Rogal Dorn. Before we begin, please make sure to like the like and subscribe waypoints, or join to become an acolyte down below, so that more people can learn from the archives. Rogal Dorn was a being crafted for war, fortification, and unwavering loyalty. Discovered on the ice world of Inwit, his innate understanding of architecture and siege warfare was immediately apparent. He returned to the Emperor's fold, quickly becoming a cornerstone of the Great Crusade. Unlike some of his more flamboyant or introspective brothers, Dorn was defined by his stoic pragmatism, his unyielding resolve, and his relentless pursuit of perfection in defense and siegecraft. He was entrusted with the monumental task of designing and overseeing the construction of the Emperor's Palace on Terra, a fortress continent that would become the ultimate symbol of the Imperial's might. His relationship with his brothers varied. He often clashed with the ever-changing Perturabo over matters of siegecraft, yet he held a deep, often unexpressed, respect for others like Guilliman and Sanguinius. During the devastating civil war known as the Horus Heresy, Dorn remained steadfastly loyal to the Emperor. He was instrumental in the final defense of Terra, coordinating the planet's fortifications and personally leading its defense with grim determination. The psychic shockwave from the Emperor's battle with Horus left Dorn heartbroken and adrift. He had failed to prevent the heresy, failed to save his father from the fate of the Golden Throne, and failed to prevent the death of his beloved brother Sanguinius. This period of profound grief and self-doubt led to the infamous Iron Cage incident, where Dorn, seeking an honourable death or penance, allowed himself and his Imperial Fists to be lured into a devastating trap by Perturabo and the Iron Warriors. Though ultimately rescued by Guilliman, the ordeal left deep scars on Dorn and his Legion, contributing to the later doctrinal schism that led to the creation of the Imperial Fists' many successor chapters, collectively known as the Hand of Dorn. The official and most widely accepted account of Dorn's demise places it several centuries after the heresy, during the tumultuous era known as the Age of Apostasy, specifically during the First Black Crusade, led by War Master Abaddon the Despoiler. According to the Imperial records and the saga of the Imperial Fists, Dorn led a retaliatory strike force deep into the Eye of Terror, pursuing Abaddon's retreating forces. The Primarch's fleet intercepted a great many Chaos vessels, culminating in a final desperate boarding action aboard a heavily defended enemy ship, later identified as the Sword of Sacrilege. Accounts claim that Rogal Dorn, leading from the front as was his nature, boarded the vessel with a small retinue. What transpired in the labyrinthine corridors of that chaos-tainted ship remained largely unknown, lost to the fury of battle and the passage of time. The official narrative states that Imperial forces eventually fought their way through the ship, but they found no sign of the Primarch himself amongst the living. What they did discover was a single severed hand, a hand confirmed by genetic and spiritual signature to be Rogal Dorn's. This relic, the Hand of Dorn, was returned to Terra and became a sacred artifact, a symbol of the Praetorian's final sacrifice and the unyielding duty of his legion and its successors. The recovery of the Hand of Dorn was taken as conclusive proof by the High Lords of Terra and the Imperial Fist chapter of their Primarch falling in battle. He was mourned, his name etched into the litanies of the honoured dead, and his legend solidified as the unyielding architect who ultimately gave his life defending the Imperium he had helped build. This event profoundly shaped the culture and doctrines of the Imperial Fists and their descendant chapters, fostering a deep-seated sense of loss and grim determination to honor his sacrifice through unwavering service and fortitude. However, even within the grim certainty of the 41st millennium, where history is often propaganda and the truth is a casualty of war, the circumstances surrounding Dorn's supposed death have sown seeds of doubt and fueled speculation. The primary source of this ambiguity lies in the evidence itself. Only a hand was recovered. For a being as phenomenally resilient and powerful as a Primarch, death is an incredibly difficult state to achieve. They have survived wounds that would atomize lesser beings, capable of regenerating from catastrophic injuries. The idea that a boarding action aboard a single ship, even a chaos vessel deep within the Eye of Terror, would result in the complete annihilation of Dorn's body, leaving only a single albeit significant relic, strains credulity for some. Consider the possibilities that the lack of a full body opens up. Could Dorn have been captured rather than killed? The forces of chaos, particularly figures as powerful as Abaddon, would have immense strategic and symbolic reasons to take a loyalist Primarch alive. A captive Dorn could be used for gruesome experiments, psychological torture, or even twisted into a horrific weapon against the Imperium he served. The Eye of Terror is a realm where reality bends and warps. Fates far worse than death are commonplace. Alternatively, could Dorn have succumbed to something other than conventional death? The psychic toll of the Heresy, coupled with the despair he felt, was immense. Could he have deliberately sought a glorious end, or perhaps, in a moment of despair or tactical necessity, sacrificed himself in a way that left no trace? Could he have been transported away by warp energies at the moment of his defeat? Another perspective considers the motivations of those who presented the Hand of Dorn as proof of death. In the Imperial hierarchy, the death of a Primarch, while tragic, provides a form of narrative closure. It allows for succession, the establishment of new doctrines, and the solidifying of legends. A missing Primarch, one whose fate is unknown, represents a constant unsettling uncertainty. Was the rapid acceptance of the Hand of Dorn as definitive proof driven by a need for closure, a desire to move beyond the era of the Primarchs, or perhaps even a deliberate suppression of a more complex, inconvenient truth? The sheer scale of loss and the unreliable nature of historical records in the 41st millennium further compound this mystery. Battles are fought over centuries, entire planets are consumed, and the truth often becomes buried under layers of myth, propaganda, and simple decay. The events of the First Black Crusade are ancient history to the Imperium of the present day, filtered through millennia of retelling and bureaucratic obfuscation. Hope is the first step of the road to disappointment, but despair is the road to damnation. We must walk the road between. Ultimately, within the established lore of Warhammer 40,000, the finding of the Hand of Dorn is presented as evidence of his death, and this is the version accepted by the vast majority of the Imperium and the Imperial Fists. His name is on the list of fallen Primarchs. However, the nature of his remains leaves a significant, tantalizing gap in the narrative. It allows for speculation, for the faint possibility, however remote, that Rogal Dorn did not die in that boarding action, but instead suffered a fate unknown, lost in the maddening depths of the Eye of Terror, or bound to some unseen prison. While the official stance, supported by a powerful symbolism and reverence attached to the Hand of Dorn relic, firmly places Rogal Dorn amongst the honoured dead, the ambiguous circumstances surrounding his disappearance and the nature of Primarchs ensure that the question of his true fate remains a compelling mystery. He stands as a testament to unwavering duty, a symbol of the Imperium's unyielding core, and a haunting reminder that even the mightiest heroes can seemingly vanish into the cosmic abyss, leaving behind only fragments and unanswered questions. Whether truly slain or eternally lost, the legacy of Rogal Dorn, the architect of defiance, endures as a cornerstone of the Imperium's grim and brutal reality. And so I have now covered the content for this video, but if there's anything that has been missed, please share them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this content, please like the like and subscribe waypoints, or join to become an acolyte down below so that more people can learn from the archives. Consider continuing your journey into the Librarium, with the video displayed on screen. In the grim dark of the far future, there is only war.